Greetings, Bill here. Today I'm going to do a video, kind of by request. I haven't shaved. It is Saturday. I haven't shaved since Tuesday evening when I came home from work, and I chose to shave with a shavette because I had broken out with a case of hives while I was at work. It's been a bit of a week. I went for a COVID test because somebody says, "Oh, well, hives, that's a sign of COVID." And sure enough, you can go on the web, and any condition that anybody has when they contract COVID can be published as a symptom of COVID. So, like 10% of the people who got COVID also reported having hives. So I got scared. I went for a test, and it was a long thing. The issue I believe to be, been something I had never broken out with hives like that. Really, I've had allergic reaction, but not an anaphylactic breakout all over my skin and my body like that for anything. It turns out that in COVID times, some body decided that when we were going to reopen the lunchroom at work, we needed to have cleaners there to make sure that there was no COVID on the surfaces. So they bought these cleaners and they had everybody spraying the tables. One of those cleaners was a hospital disinfectant, which is at the table that I use. And it's like, I read that and it's like, okay, I don't think I want to touch this stuff a long time ago. But that does not stop other people from using that stuff, okay? And this is the stuff that after a guy dies with Ebola and oozes out all over the place, this is the stuff you come in and spray to clean him up, clean up the mess. And it's like, I got the safety data sheet. It's like a toxin. It's got caustic soda in it, in an aerosol, which will blind you if it contacts your eyes. It's a marine hazard. You can't dump it down the drain. It's like, what in the world is this thing doing in the lunchroom? So somebody was spraying it all over the tables. And I think what happened was I had noticed the napkin dispenser was in a position where I sit. So somebody probably came along and they're spraying this hospital disinfectant. Some of it probably went on the napkin, and it is toxic enough, and there could have been a prolonged exposure thing going on with me where I picked up that napkin and I wiped my mouth while I was eating lunch, and the mouth is a higher point of entry than skin contact, so that stuff could have went in, and it could have been, like I said, a prolonged contact thing where I always put paper towels down on the table anyhow. So I don't know. It was enough though to get me, and being away from it, I recovered. And I called my doctor after, because I went for the COVID test, and the lady says, "Oh no, you've been tested. You can't go back to work." So I called my doctor. It's like, dude, do I got to be out of work for 2 weeks? So I feel fine. My doctor says, "I wouldn't have had you tested." He said, "I favor a surface contact issue," and that's when I went looking and found what I found. But anyhow, that prompted me to shave with a shavette, because I find the proper use of a shavette to be very gentle. And I had some breaking out going up, on my torso and that kind of stuff. So I use this, and Sam had asked me to do a video on shavettes, so that's why I'm here. I'm going to do this video on shavettes. I got 5 of them here, and I'm going to use them all. I'm going to try and, I've talked a lot here, and I'm going to try and use them all and discuss what I like about them, why I like them, why I may or may not recommend them for others. Okay, I'm using a sterling soap, Tuscany. I don't even know if you can get this anymore. It's a unisex scent. I'll be using the aftershave of that too. And you are allowed to use unisex scents if you shave with an open blade. Okay. Now, when I took up open blade shaving, I came in from straight razors. Okay. So the shavette was new to me. This was the first shavette that I bought. This is the Focus R21 Evolution. It has a plastic insertable thing, and you can kind of open this up, and it has, let's see if I can get this, you can kind of open it up, and it has like little holding tabs to position it. And once that blade is in there, that blade is pretty well recessed down. It's got the corner guards, and I'd seen this used, I liked it, and I bought this. And having read and heard the, oh, Shavettes, they're more dangerous, and I got the worst cut with Shavettes ever, and straight razors give you better shaves, and the best shave comes from a straight razor. I got this. It's a sub $15 tool, okay? And I can remember like it was yesterday, first bringing that up and getting ready and putting that into my face and thinking, oh my gosh, it's really not that bad. Today, if somebody is interested in the pursuit of open blade, this is the singular low-cost item that I would highly recommend to somebody looking to go on that, because I think, this has a narrow head. You can kind of see how the plastic kind of protects it, and you can kind of almost, it's a little less risky, okay? So you could come in flat, and you can just rock up till you feel the edge, and it's like, I'm just going along here, just like no drag, no nothing. I got a real efficient cut there. I don't, with my water here, if you use a real good higher end soap, I don't have too much problem with whatever lather I use. So this was one, okay. My second Shavette that I got, okay, since I like that one so much, and I thought this one, and I've always been the kind of guy who wanted to polish my skill set and acquire the skill set that I needed to deliver myself the best shave I could with the tools that I wanted to buy for whatever reason I wanted to buy them. And I thought this was cool looking. Okay, this is also made by Focus. This is the R28. Okay, and this was the one I shaved with Tuesday. Okay, this has a unique blade loading mechanism. Same type of thing where there's like a blade guard, and the blade is kind of recessed. This is a little bit different in that the geometry of this blade is designed so that your angle is a little bit steeper. It's forcing you to get up on the shave angle, okay? It's forcing you to be a little steeper than the R21. And I personally found that this tool delivers for me a better shave. Why? Because it forces me to be on that slightly more aggressive angle, but it also it requires me, in being light and weight, it's a little bit more, you have to learn to feel the touch. Being at that angle, you got to be a little bit more careful about how much you press in, because with too much pressure at that optimum cutting angle, it can begin to create more irritation with skin. Not any severe, I've never had a severe irritation with this, nor have I ever been cut with this or the R21. But for my preference, even though I like this tool, it's really, really cool, okay? And I find I like to shave with it. That first one had my favorite DE blade. Half the E is the snapped Gillette Silver Blue for Shavettes. It's just my favorite. This is one of the Facon blades that came with a Shavette that a guy by the name of Danny gave me because I let him use this. He wanted to use it, and he sent me this Shavette along with a pack of the pre-cut blades. Again, a very, very good Shavette. It's fun to use. I'll never get rid of it. I like it. Okay. My next pursuit after that, finding that, was to go to the feather. And I remember looking at the feather blades a long, long time ago when I first started considering open edge. And when I got the Feather DX and started using it, I thought, this is the one that I really should have bought before anything, before any straight razors. Here's the caveat, okay? Using this, and I went and I bought a blade pack, and I tried every single Artist Club blade there was to try, several, to really find what I wanted. And I found something that I believe drove me to an opinion that I still have that opinion. There are people who say that a properly honed straight razor blows Artist Club blades, even the Feather Super Pro, out of the water, and that's okay. I just have never had a razor that outperformed one of these with a Pro Super. So that's not to say that there aren't people that hone that well. I don't hone that well, and I've never had a razor that was honed that well. So, or maybe I don't know how to shave. I don't really know. But if you shave that well, it's all about what you deliver in terms of the happiness for yourself. But I do remember the first time that I took this with a Super. And when you take that and you tip that into your face and you begin to go for that edge feel, that first edge feel, it's like, man, this thing is really wicked sharp. It's like, I'm just moving all, I'm like feeling no resistance there. Now, this blade has, I think, 6 shaves on it, okay? 5 or 6. And ordinarily 5 or 6, this is a Super Pro, okay? And normally 5 or 6, I would, with this tool, end it. But the next tool that I have used this showed me a little bit more. But I'm gonna backpedal a little bit, and I'm gonna try this one in this tool and see what I get. So based on that, I would use this blade through the shave anyhow, and definitely maybe in another, because on that much growth coming upwards, which is generally where with a lot of growth where I would normally feel the razor resistance, I felt like almost no resistance. Any straight I've ever used would have had some more resistance feel in that particular thing coming up. Now, and how this opens, this has a little squeeze thing, and it's you're supposed to be able to squeeze this and drop the blade out. It's not that hard to squeeze this and open this up and extract the blade that way. It's a nice loading mechanism. In exchange for the use of the loan of my Focus Slim AL, my friend Danny sent me this along with those blades. And this is kind of a look-alike in terms of the profile of the head to a DX razor. You could call it the baby DX. This is only for double edge blades. And I have a feather, half a feather in here, which I know this is on the second shave. I have to be a little bit more careful with this because I do feel that blade a little bit more than I do with the Focus R21, which is why I recommend, if you're looking for the inexpensive, the double edge, to go for that. This, while it's cool, I love the handling of this. I love the feel of this. What I really, really hate is that it has that same type of squeeze mechanism, and for a snap DE blade, this kind of hangs and it is a hassle. And I would have to say that it's probably easier to get a misload or to cut yourself with this. This is something, I've seen these for sale. They're cheap. Okay. If you're looking to go open edge and you're looking to economize, my recommendation is go with this and totally avoid this. This is cool looking. This looks just kind of like, rough and institutional almost. But this is a great shaver. This is a great shaver. This is, I'm going to keep this because a friend gave this to me. I'm never going to throw this away, and I'll use it occasionally out of my recognition of the friendship that I had developed. Okay, but I would recommend, don't buy one of these. So that is pass number 1, and I would say comparable results regardless of what tool I used on different parts of my face. Now I'm going to go to where, and I'm going to kind of make a recommendation here. Not a recommendation. If I had to do it all over again, knowing what I know, this is what I would have done. And I couldn't have done it back then. Okay. And there are a lot of you that know me of being the Essence razor super fan, the Essence by Titleist. I've waited. Manuel is a member of the Shaving Cadre Forum, which is where I've found such great friends and a really, really great home. And he is the designer and the man behind the marketing and guiding the manufacturer and everything of this. This is, if I had to, knowing what I know, where I'm at today, I would say, Bill, what you need to do, go buy this. It's expensive. Now, a lot of people are going to criticize you. They wouldn't criticize you for spending $500 for the titanium black gun razor, but they'll criticize you for spending $350 for this. Dollar for dollar, if you had to go on buy, sell, trade, and I don't know how long this could be before titanium vectors wind up on the buy, sell, trade. Okay. But on the secondhand market, I would think your return on investment would be higher on this than any titanium safety razor. That's my opinion. Okay. And for somebody who was starting out, I have loaded up a Pro Guard blade, which is has the little guards on there, and a little story on that. I'll try to keep moving here because I'm running into time. The guarded blade was patented and designed by the Persona people in the late 60s when they were owned by Philip Morris. And Philip Morris the tobacco company, was dumping loads and loads of R&D dollars into that company. They came up with this. That's when they came up with the Persona 74, which there's still new old stock floating around. People rave about that blade. Okay. But they came up with the guarded blade, and to this day, they still market one. The one they market is called the Bump Fighter. It is a cartridge type blade that is focused at men of African descent who are known to have coarse hair and curly hair and are particularly plagued, by ingrowns caused by multiple blade cartridges stretching the hair out and cutting it off so it grows back and your skin grows over before the hair can grow out. That is the result for that. I've never used a Bump Fighter, but there was a DE blade that had the guard on it. Feather has a guard type blade. There is a lot of beautician razors that have the guard technology for eyebrows and stuff like that. It is a very, very safe way for somebody to enter in. And I've learned to love the loading mechanism on this. At first, a lot of people said it was like finicky, but and one of the complaints was that this part of the blade can hit against the bottom of the scales, and I think it does hit. I don't think the guard. I think the guard blade, if you have a guard blade, I think it would protect the edge from damage. But the loading mechanism, it's like, this is so easy. It's like I take it apart, okay, and I go and I clean it. And when I put it together, I'm going to, let's see if I can make sure. I'm going to lay this, and this will hold a DE or a double edge, or it'll hold an injector style, or the artist club, which I thought was an advantage in the beginning, but it's not necessary for me, because if I'm going to use this, I'm going to use an artist club blade. But it's like, put the blade on this piece right here, put it in, and just hold your thumb on that part of the blade, whether it's a DE blade or one of these, and just slide that in. Now, that one had a tendency to kick up just a little bit. You can see that. So I'm going to, again, with a downward force on my thumb, okay, and it's still in a little bit crooked. I'm sitting there telling you guys how great this is, and then I can't even load a blade. So, okay, that's interesting. That's very, very interesting. Maybe it's because I'm doing it and it's wet. This is the first time I've ever had trouble with this. Very interesting. Okay, I don't think it's finicky. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm already 20 minutes in, so I'm gonna do my final pass here. I'm gonna do a rinse. I'm gonna call it a shave. I'll probably clean up a third pass afterwards. But one of the things I liked about this is this provides me with the ultimate in safety, the most carefree use of an open edge type tool. Even though with a Pro Guard, it's not really an open edge. Now, if you use one of these and you come in at too steep of an angle, okay, if you are too steep of an angle, you're going to feel the little guards on there, and it'll feel rough. You got to flatten that angle down. If you flatten that angle down, I found in my experience, these blades last longer. Longer than just about anything, because you're really not putting any pressure right on the edge. I've heard people say that you can cut yourself with one of these. This is another one I never cut myself with. If you're an experienced open blade shaver, do not expect with this blade to get that same blade feel that you get with a true open edge, because if you're looking to get that blade feel, you're too steep of an angle, too high of a pressure. This should be, just feel like just going across, wiping the soap off. So there we are, the Essence by Titleist. 24 minutes in, that's pushing too much time. I'm going to do a little bit of a cleanup later on if I go off camera, and I'll finish up with the same smell aftershave, the Tuscany splash on aftershave. So one more pass for me, but you don't need to see that. I was mostly here to talk about the hardware. To the great friends who tune in at the Shaving Cadre, thank you for your friendship. I appreciate it. It makes me feel good. I wish you all the very best, and you can find me there.